I called you Mr. Bridge because you started to do it
Call you Mr. Bridge.
Mr. Bridge, because you made it mainstream.
I feel like we're rappers and we're having a chat. Yeah. What do you want to know about bridging, good sir?
I know about it, but I'm thinking, well, like, how did you get the balls? For me, I understand because it's a numbers game. As long as you got your numbers right, you can do it. But a lot of people are like scared of it, and a lot of let me say property educations try to scare you, like, don't take bridge, it's dangerous, don't take bridge. So yeah, how do you get the balls?
I think it is dangerous, of course it is, but when you realize that generally, I mean, they take a little bit more, but bridges take the same level of security as your mortgage does on your own home. They take the same level of security as a buy-to-let mortgage will take. When you look at it in terms of the security aspect, you kind of say, oh, well, hold on a minute. I'm already selling my soul anyway. And when I buy this property and I remortgage it, I'm already giving that level away anyway. So you kind of think, well, it's kind of much of nothingness, it's the same thing. Yes, bridges might have a reputation or more propensity to take the property from you or to, use the personal guarantee, and they sometimes take debentures and other types of security. I mean, you think a mortgage lender gives a shit about you either? Not really.
No.
So for me, it was understanding, well, hold on a minute, this is normal. And if I don't do it on a bridge, I'll do it on a mortgage. And when I buy my own house, I'll do it there anyway. So I just thought that, okay, that element, which people get sort of scared about, I thought, well, it's normal. There's nothing necessarily here. And then I suppose it was the reputational element, right? Which is, they're sharks and they'll take the house. And at the end of the day, Nana, if I give you money and you don't pay me, am I going to come and take your house? Of course I am.
Yeah.
You know I am. I'm coming. I'm near the front door with the boys. We're taking your house. It's as simple as that. So therefore, again, I thought, well, yeah, if you don't keep up your payments and you haven't got a decent reason for it, then you're getting repossessed. Plain and simple. I agree with the bridges. I'm on their side. So I thought, hold on a minute. The principles are the same. The security is the same. What are people talking about? And then people kind of speak about the expense of it. Now, look.
Yeah.
A mortgage is 3.5% a year, limited company, give or take. They're kind of dropping at the moment. A bridge, if you haven't got a relationship, is probably 12% a year. And then some fees and some legal costs.
Yeah.
Big difference. That's 4 times as much, right?
Yeah.
But then you have to ask yourself, okay, is it more expensive than not doing the deal?
Exactly.
And sometimes it is. Sometimes you're like, oh, well, this deal's dead because of that. But generally speaking, if you're getting an asset for life and you have to leave in a couple grand more because of bridging, I mean, I'm not complaining, and I don't think anyone should be. If you can't get an investor to fund the whole purchase, then what are you going to do? You're going to use a bridge. Yeah. So really, I get that it is expensive. Of course it is compared to a mortgage. But for what you're getting, it's the only product apart from investor finance that you can use to do flips and BRRs and, so it kind of, those 3 or 4 factors for me, they kind of came together, and I just thought, hold on a minute. I understand what people are saying, but I've kind of, I've got a reason, or I've got evidence against each one, which, I agree with. I've done my research. I've spoken to knowledgeable people, and it works. So, I think people need to, maybe if they're scared of it, relook at bridging. Send me a DM on Instagram, send Nano a DM, speak to us about it, and kind of find out from my broker. As well, Shaz. He's been on my podcast, and he's done. Like, we went through bridging, like 101 basics.
Yeah.
Just be careful with bridging of the renewal fees. And I've nearly had this. If you go past the term, 12 months, 9 months, whatever, there's often like a 5% fee to carry on. Now, most projects
of the whole amount
they've loaned you. That's big. Yeah. That's like 5 months interest. And then sometimes you go to an even higher rate after that. So it's just like, but always take a 12-month term. Don't take a 9-month term. Projects should not go on for longer than this. But believe me, I've had two almost get to that fee. One was on the same day. We completed the sale on the same day. They were going to charge me, but they didn't.
Yeah.
You don't want to be that close. You just don't want to be that close. So really think about.
But what about you mentioned in the beginning it's almost 12%. So now you have built a relationship. How much is it now for you?
Annually it's probably like 9%.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, I think it's about 9% annually. I mean, it varies. The bigger the loan, the cheaper the interest can be because they make more money. I've taken a lot of small loans where they've had to like increase it. I've also had reduced fees, but I also know that like the fees would be even more reduced proportionately if I took a bigger loan.
Yeah.
So it's one of these things where because of my position and how I operate, it hasn't necessarily been, it hasn't been as effective as it could be. But hey, listen, I've saved a lot of money because of the relationship.
Yeah.